Hello everyone, welcome back to my cozy corner of the internet. Today's video is a little bit different from the usual arty type vlog because I thought it might be interesting to make something that requires some different skills. So in this video I'm going to try and make myself a pair of 17th century stays, and this has come about because it's getting cozy and it's getting more autumny here, and I have an obsession with Outlander costumes and medieval fantasy. So well, come and join me for the making of this little project. The pattern I've chosen to make is this 1740s stitch stays pattern from the Patterns of Fashion book. I'm going to make some minor tweaks to this pattern, like sewing at the back so it's just front laced and not front and back laced. And I'm going to also change the lacing from spiral lacing to a more easier version of a cross lacing. The fabric I'll be using for this project is a black cotton for the lining, cotton canvas for the two inner layers, and a blue teal Harris tweed for the front fashion fabric layer. And for binding all of the edges and for decoration, I'll be using a black cotton twill tape or a bias binding. The first mock-up I made was this one, and I sewed it all, both mock-ups I sewed by hand, and it's just on this really like flimsy cotton type material. I didn't really have any mock-up material, so this is what I've used, and it fit okay. The tabs flare out over my hips where they should do. The front on this one didn't close completely, I had quite a bit of space there, so I've changed that on my next mock-up. This is the second one. I made it out of just like a canvas, quite thick, which is quite good for the structure. Yeah, and this one fits a lot better. So this is the one I've gone for. I've just extended the front two centre front pieces by an inch, and then I've added a 1 centimetre seam allowance, and I've added a 1 centimetre seam allowance on all of the inside seams. So that's what I've done. I've gotten all my pieces cut out, all drafted, and yeah, we'll put them together and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's okay. I really don't want to have to redo this. So where I'm at the moment, I've got all of the boning channels drawn in. How I did it, I just took a piece of, I don't know where it is, I took a piece of the boning and then I just measured out 6mm. It's 5mm boning, but I've put an extra millimetre just so I'm able to pop it in the channel. They're all cut out, they're all ready to be sewn. So because it's 4 layers as well, I've started just tacking all of the pieces together. So hopefully they should all the channels should be sewn correctly and it should be fine. But yeah, I've never done this before, so it's going to be a bit of a weird learning curve. So over the weekend I attended the annual Steampunk Festival that's held here in Lincoln. The festival was absolutely packed outside the castle grounds, where they have some free stalls that you can look at, but you can also pay to go inside the castle grounds, and there's live music, shows, and a lot more vendor stalls and tents, which I didn't know was here before, but I haven't been to this festival properly. I've only ever sort of seen it. If you walk around Lincoln when the Steampunk Festival's on, you'll kind of see people in costumes, but I didn't know there was an actual event going on with stalls, which was pretty cool. I didn't buy much, but I did buy some absolutely beautiful green linen and wool from this huge fabric tent. They had an absolutely amazing selection. I would highly recommend going to them, and I'm definitely going back next year. I don't know if I've already mentioned this, but the pattern I'm using is from this book called Patterns of Fashion. It's published by the School of Historical Dress. The one I've picked is a late 17th century pair of stays. I really like this pattern. It's quite simple for the first one I've done from the book. It's quite a simple pattern that I picked. There's a lot that are really complicated, but yeah, this is the pattern, and this is what the pair of stays look like. And this page, I just scanned it in at A3 and then blew it up to A0, and then checked it was to scale, and it was. Yeah, I really like this book, and I'm hoping to make some more patterns from it soon. It's just having big pieces of A0 paper lying around isn't really ideal. I haven't got a lot of space. Okay, so where I am at the moment is an absolute mess, but what I did, apart from these two, I've sewn all of the boning channels with my machine, so all of the boning channels are all done, and I've just started sewing all of the pieces together by hand. I did originally do it this way, but last night I did it again by accident, and I did it this side, and I think it looks a lot better, but these are going to be covered with like a black cord anyway, so you're not going to be able to see these, but I think that one looks a lot better, so I'm going to do it that way from now on. But yeah, I did a little test with the bones, and I put them in to the channels. They fit and they look pretty good, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it all together like that one, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes. So this is how it looks at the moment. This is the front, so hopefully it should look pretty cool. So I'm excited to put all the bones in and see how it looks with them all in. So it was a lot of sewing. But after I finish sewing these channels and these two pieces by machine, I'm going to finish the entire thing by hand, because I've never done it on some of the techniques on machine before, so I want to make sure they're all proper and they look nice. So I'm going to hand finish it. There is going to be like a cord to go over these as well. I've got some like woven cotton, what do you call it? It's like a cotton cord type of thing. I can't remember the name of it, but that's going to go over these seams as well, so you won't be able to see them. And yeah, it should all look quite nice. This bit at the moment, this piece is slightly taller, but that's because the seam allowance is there, so I'm going to chop that seam allowance off. As long as the waist is all the same, which it's just a seam allowance, so it needs all trimming on top of these, so I can put the binding on the top. But yeah, it's looking pretty good at the moment, so hopefully I can get it sort of mostly put together today. I want to be able to have it so I can at least try it on by the end of today, maybe. I doubt it. Okay, so here I am at the moment. Excuse the absolute state of my my table, but I am so close to finishing it now. I'm just binding off these edges with some bias tape. I was originally going to use black bias tape, but the one I have is slightly too small, so I've gone for this thicker one that I had in my stash, and I think it looks alright. It's only on the inside, no one apart from me is going to see that, but yeah, and then it's going to have black tape folders, so it's very thin strips over these seams, and then black bias binding all the way around. So that's all I've really got to do, and I've got to put in the eyelets and finish this front edge for both centre front seams, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. This took me so long to do. I had to redo this a couple times because the first time I did it with a twill tape that wasn't a tight enough weave, so it had quite a lot of holes in it and you could see it and it didn't look very good, so I had to redo that one, take all that out, redo it, and then I put the black bias binding on two of these, and it just didn't turn out very well, and it was too small and too fiddly, and this has just been a nightmare to sew on with the bones in, because this is all boned now as well, so it's got all the bones in the channels, So it's very, very hard for me to pull the needle through, so that's why I've got my pliers out. So I can pull the needle through if I can't get it myself or get a good enough grip. But yeah, I'm almost there. Just covering these seams now. So what I'll do, I'll chop down these ones just a bit, just to clean them up a bit, and then put the bias tape on. And yeah, I'll check back in once I've done. Okay, I'm actually really excited about this. So it's almost done. I've done the bias tape on the inside. It looks very nice. It's very good. I'm so proud of this. Look how good it looks. And I've just started putting the black tape over the seams on the front. It looks so good. It looks exactly how it does in my head, like how I wanted it to look, which is very cool. The one thing I have forgotten about is is enough space for eyelets at the front, because I forgot this has straps. But in the book that I'm taking the pattern from, there is a version without straps, so I'm going to see how that looks and see what I kind of want to do with that. I think I might go strapless, but yeah, I need to put the eyelets in and I'm going to do that last. But yeah, look how good it looks! Look at that! Also, there's supposed to be 2 slits in these 2 larger panels here, and they're supposed to be tabs, but I actually really like the shape, so I think I'm going to keep them like that. And for my first pair, I really don't want to mess this up. I spent so much time on it, and I would really like to just have it as nice as I can possibly have it. So I'm not going to go too out of my comfort zone with doing this for the first time. The second one I'm going to make, I probably won't make it with so many bones. This has a lot of boning in it and it looks so long. But yeah, I'm so happy. It looks so, like, not to my own horn, but it looks so good. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to add the rest of this black tape. It's just normal bias binding. It's a smaller bias binding than what's on the inside. I think it's about a centimetre. And then I've just folded it to make it a bit thinner to put it on the seams. But yeah, it's looking really good. So it just needs tape on the top, tape on the bottom. So it just needs cutting off. I really love the shape that it gives. It's so interesting, and it is like like it's like some sort of like, I don't know, like 17th century Kevlar vest. It is so thick. Like you can, I don't know if you can hear that with the mic, but yeah, it's like, it's stiff, but it's very comfortable. Like, it feels like a hug, which is really odd. I don't know how sitting down this is gonna be, but with the bones, I don't know if you can see, with how bendy they are, I think it'll be okay. But I plan on wearing this to some conventions, maybe try and dress up as a witch or some sort of fae character. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. Not many steps until it's done, and I can't wait to lace it up properly and see what it looks like complete. But yeah, I'm really proud of it. I'll check back in once I've made a bit more progress on it. Okay, so I am running out of time to finish this project in this video, but when I am finished it, I want to film a proper reveal with the outfit styled in a few different ways of maybe how I would wear it if I was going to a con, or how you could wear it if you were cosplaying different types of fantasy characters. So I'd like to sort of film that for you guys and do that properly. But I hope you enjoyed watching me make something a little bit different this time, and if you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you guys have any sewing projects or projects in general that you're working on. I'd really love to hear about it. But all in all, that's all I've got for you guys for this video. Stay cozy, and I'll see you all next time.